Hey, what's going on, guys? So, there have been many rumors in recent years about the possibility of Tom DeLonge rejoining Blink-182 for a reunion at some point. When Tom DeLonge left Blink in 2015, there were some hard feelings, particularly between Tom and Mark, though in recent years things seem to have smoothed out between them. I came across a couple of quotes from Mark Hoppus where he not only shares his personal feelings about Tom DeLonge and his relationship with him, but also where he discusses what things were like creatively in Blink when Tom was a part of the band. But first, I want to talk a bit about a specific song on Blink's 2016 album, California. California was the first Blink record that was released without Tom DeLonge, and interestingly enough, there's a song on that record which Mark Hoppus wrote partially about Tom. There are 16 songs on the record. The 13th track, titled San Diego, is the one which is partially about Tom DeLonge. Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge, of course, both have deep roots in San Diego, and during an interview with Fuse, it was producer John Feldman, the man who produced California, who revealed how personal of a song San Diego is for Mark Hoppus. The following is a quote from John Feldman. The history of the song is about growing up in San Diego, having so many of their work partners being from San Diego, and having a member who lives in San Diego who is no longer in the band. That, of course, being Tom DeLonge. It was a song that Mark didn't want to write. There's clearly a lot of feelings involved with having a best friend who is not in your band anymore, having a best friend with all that stuff that went down. Every band has these issues. To write a song now, in their minds, to go back to San Diego, playing shows and tipping their hat to the city that allowed them to be a band, to me, Blink put San Diego on the map. If you think of its geographic location, they're the band that made San Diego relevant as a city. I say that with the utmost respect to San Diego because I was born in San Diego. I grew up in San Diego, but nobody cared about San Diego. It was just like a place, and suddenly Blink happened and it was like Seattle. The song acts as a bittersweet homage, a goodbye to the city that none of us live in anymore, but owe so much to, while acknowledging the interpersonal relationships within the band. So again, this was back in 2016, and the breakup between Tom and the band was evidently still pretty raw. Interestingly though, that same year Travis Barker said the following about Tom. "We are friends. No grudge or anything like that because he is not in Blink-182 anymore. The opportunity for him to return will always be there." Now, since 2016, there have been many rumors and a lot of speculation that Tom may at some point rejoin the band. In May of 2019, Tom set some fuel to the fire of those rumors by stating that he will play with Blink-182 again at some point. This is the exact quote. "We still support each other. Yes, everybody, I will play with Blink again." Mark Hoppus responded to that shortly afterwards, saying, quote, "I mean, I'll never say never to anything, but that is a completely unfounded rumor at this point." Now, fast forward to September of 2019, and Blink released their 8th full-length studio record, 9. This is the second full-length record without Tom. Shortly after the release of this record, Mark was quoted as saying the following about Tom DeLonge, specifically what it was like for Blink as a band when Tom was still a member. "There was a real unity of spirit in the band. It's when the band found itself. When Tom was in the band, that's when Blink did its best work. Now, post-Tom, with Matt in the band, we're approaching songs differently. I talked with Tom for the first time in 2 years right before we started this tour, the tour for 9. The conversation was more about us just telling each other, no hard feelings, you do your thing, we'll do our thing. It's all good." A few months later, on April 20th, 2020, Tom DeLonge tweeted, quote, "I love that band. I started that band, by the way. I love Mark and Travis. We still talk. We're all good." So things between Mark and Tom seem to have smoothed out since the breakup. But does that mean for sure there will be a reunion at some point? Only time will tell that. But I will say that I do find it interesting that Mark Hoppus did go on record and say that Blink did its best work when Tom was in the band. If at some point down the road there is a Blink reunion, would that reunion be limited only to touring, or could there be new Blink music recorded with the classic lineup? We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe for more. Lots more to come.